Hey everybody, it's Stippling Vaughn, and I am at my local dive bar as always, and I am having trouble with this nib. There we go. So I'm at my local dive bar, stippling away, and I want to talk about Mark Millar, who has been blowing up the Twitters, or as Danger Vanessa puts it, X is gonna get you. I want to talk about what he's been saying, how he wants to, the things he wants to does to help save the industry. Okay. Before we get into that, to all my regulars who are normally watching my videos, I'm sorry I'm posting this later than normal. This morning, or actually slightly this afternoon, Miss Stippling and I went out to a local park to get holiday photographs taken with our dog. This is going to be our last year with our dog. We're hoping that she makes it till Christmas, but we do know that this is definitely her last year, her last Christmas, the last time we're going to have her with us. She's very old and she's been declining fast, so we just wanted to get some pictures. So if anybody follows me or on Facebook, pretty soon you're going to see a big dump of photos on my feed of us with our little miniature pinscher, Duchess. And yeah, we just wanted to do something special for with this year. So that's the reason why we're late. But back to the reason why I am doing this video. In fact, I do it every single Sunday. My topic is about Mark Millar and how he wants to take steps to save the industry. Okay. The problem is, from my vantage point, is it's too late, or it's almost. Let's be honest. It's not too late. It's almost too late, but it's not too late. Okay. But think of it this way: the air bubble is in the veins, and it's making its way up. Or if you want to look at a different analogy, we're at stage 3 cancer. Okay. Stage 4 is the death rolls. If Marvel and DC get to the point where they're going to start licensing out their IPs to smaller publishers to publish content for them, that's stage 4. Okay, you can have the naysayers saying it's still not dead, they're still being published through IDW and through Dark Horse and Oni Press and da-da. It's dead. It's completely dead. Okay, at that point it's stage 4 cancer. Okay, but here's the thing, like he wants to do these like round robin tables. Like he wants to have a YouTuber on. He wants to have a creator on and a fan on. Okay. Let's be honest here, guys. Unless Marvel and DC are going to participating in this and willing to listen to the fans, which they have proven for the last 10 to 15 years that they have no desire to listen to the fans. Okay? You think about it. YouTube channels been popping up for the last decade criticizing Marvel and DC for producing a bad product. And they've done literally nothing to show that they're listening or even caring what is being said. Okay? So until DC and Marvel, okay, remember in 2010 when Domino's did their ad campaign where they admitted that their product sucks and they were going to completely overhaul their pizza, and they did. Okay? And they're still around, okay? And they're, as far as I know, they're doing relatively the same as what they did back then. But they at least addressed the problem and took steps to fix it. Okay? Right now, with what Marvel and DC are doing and the way they're acting, they may know what the fans are saying, but they're doing absolutely nothing to address the issue or even admit that there's even a problem. Okay? They are full-blown alcoholics that will not admit that they have a problem. They are too good to go to AAA meetings, even though they are drinking their lives away and they're flushing everything that's been built in the comic book industry completely down the drain. Okay? And here's my thing also with what Mark wants to do. Okay? He's proposing that next year, he's going to start doing one video a week. And he's going to do one live stream a month. Okay? Let's be honest with you. Anybody who does YouTube knows, okay, to get traction, to get an audience, to maintain an audience, to get people to listen to you, okay? Specifically, because things are so dire, okay? You can't do it that way, okay? He wants, like he says, he wants to do a live stream once a month with a YouTuber, with a professional, and a fan. Not going to work. He's got to be willing to commit to this, which means he has to become a YouTuber himself. He needs to be willing to do this once a week. Okay, let's throw out this scenario. He says he has to do it once a week, okay? And say he gets Neurotic be on his show, who's the YouTuber. Okay, Neurotic knows how this stuff works. Okay, he knows how the algorithm works. He knows all of that stuff. Okay, and he gets a professional. Let's say he goes with Brett Booth. Brett Booth knows the mainstream, but he's learning about the independent scene through his own with American's Best Comics, which didn't really do all that well, along with him constantly going on Joe Sontag's show to talk about what's going on. And so he knows about crowdfunding, and he's seen the successes that some creators are having with crowdfunding. Okay, so we have Brett Boothorn as your artist, and then you get a fan. Let's say the fan is Marcus Kilgore. I'm going to say Marcus Kilgore because he watches my videos on a regular basis. So anybody who's watching this video who normally doesn't, first and foremost, welcome. Thank you for tuning in, and please don't forget to hit the like button, share, and subscribe. It helps. And remember, you don't get that stuff by simply putting it out. You have to ask for it. So I'm asking you to please hit that like button and subscribe. I put a lot of work, as you can see, I put a lot of work into my stippling. Okay, and even like an image like this, you look at it and go, it's not stippled? Yes, it is. This whole thing, every single person on here is stippled. Okay? So, and don't worry, I have faith that this is going to turn out really good, even though it doesn't look like it in the pencil stage. I have faith in it. So, but anyway, so you got to be doing that once a week to really, and like I said, unless Marvel and DC is ready to come to the table and take part in this discussion with these live streams and admit that they have a problem, come up with a game plan. Because right now, it's like Marvel and DC is the Exxon Valdez. Anybody who's watched my other videos, you know that I've brought this analogies up before, okay? Exxon Valdez, we all know it, okay? The famous oil spill in the 90s. And you look at how Exxon handled that so poorly, where The reporters were showing them evidence that there is an oil spill going on up in Alaska. And they're like, no, it's not. No, it's not. And then when they finally did, they were sending out low-level executives and lawyers to deal with the problem. Okay? Or on the flip side, you take a look in the, again, it was the late 80s, 90s. Johnson & Johnson had the problem. Here this woman was murdered her husband, but she tampered with a bunch of Tylenol bottles. So people were dying, and here they had to, the head of the company stepped up to the plate and addressed the issue, became the face of the company, and steered them through that issue, that problem. Okay. Marvel and DC is the Exxon Valdez. There's a problem. They know it's a problem, but they're not doing anything to step forward to address the issue and come up with a game plan to solve the problem. Okay? So it comes down to, so why the hell is Mark Miller even doing this? If so many fans have left it, and those that are left, let's be honest, okay? The real comic book fans, they're part of the crowdfunding community now. Okay? They read the crowdfunded books. They watch the YouTube shows. Okay, that's pretty much where your fan base is really left. Okay, you do have some who go into shops on a weekly basis, those Wednesday warriors, but they're severely shrinking. Okay, Mark Miller even says he wants retailers brought in to be a part of this when he starts these roundtable discussions. Okay, well again, unless Marvel and DC come to the table and listen to these problems and willing to address that there's a problem and take steps to resolve it, then you're pissing up a rope. But here's my thing. I'm really looking at it, because remember, Mark Millar has a deal with Netflix. Okay? He's for the longest time, he's been relying on Marvel and DC being healthy so that the stores will carry his books. He knows that his books alone aren't enough to keep a comic book store afloat. Okay? So, by doing this now, it's a two-pronged thing. Maybe DC and Marvel will finally pull their heads out of their ass and start taking action. It might be a little too late, but they gotta start taking action. They can't just keep being an ostrich with their heads buried in the sand. Okay, so maybe that works in the comic book industries, and the local comic book stores are able to be saved. That means that his deals that he's got in place, which require for getting books out there, is still solvent. But let's say it falls through completely. Okay. If he starts now to build up a channel, even if it's under the guise of this roundtable to save the industry, save the mainstream industry through discussion, in the end, if it falls through, he now has a fan base of people watching him on YouTube that he can go with the crowdfunding model, or more importantly, most likely will be the Eric July model of pre-order. Okay, so that way he can still be producing product, so that way he has something to maintain his agreement with Netflix. Okay, now I might be wrong with some of the facts, but you get the general gist. So if you want to pick apart what I'm saying and I'm wrong, you're more than welcome to, guys. But listen to what the hypothesis is. Listen to what this theory is that may or may not be true. And yesterday I did a video where I shamed theory. Okay? But when the proof is there that the industry has no desire to change, how's Mark Millar going to move forward, even though he's made enough money, he probably may not need to work ever again. He's still trying to do something because he loves this industry. And I think by creating a online presence, he's creating a audience so he can still produce books at a highly profitable level. Okay? I think that's more along the lines of what he may be doing. Is creating an audience so that way he can do what Eric July's been doing. Okay? If Mark Millar is willing, if he can handle the live streaming, if he can handle a live chat, and we all know that a live chat is vicious and brutal and cruel. If he can survive that, okay, if he can survive a live chat, if he's ready for it, he may very well be able to be successful. That he can then do like what Eric July's doing, or crowdfund the way Boom does it. Okay, he has the ability. Because right now, as I'm looking at it, as Shane Davis puts it, we're at the point now that crowdfunding comics and the independent scene is maintaining the last vigil of the American comic book medium. Which, remember, we started. So I can understand there being so much pride. Okay? I can understand there being so much pride by these creators and so much frustration by the fan base. Okay, hold on here. Yep, gotta go up that way. So, yeah, so moving the paper around a lot. You know what? We're not going to do that. I'll do that off camera. I wanted to, but it's not going to work. So, and the reason why you're hearing so much in the background is because, remember, I was late getting here. Normally, I'm here right at 11 in the morning, but I'm not. So right now, you're listening in the background. The Steelers playing the Browns, and all those F-bombs is Marty. As the saying goes, there's shit talking and then there's Marty. So if you hear a lot of F-bombs and a lot of smack talk, that's just Marty in the background, pay him no mind. He's one of those guys that he uses the word fuck as if it's a description word, and he can't talk unless he's using it. So, but you gotta love Marty. If there's one person you want in your corner at all times, it's him. I personally owe a lot to Marty, because Marty and his wife, they were my first customers in this bar. In fact, they've commissioned me to do so many pieces for them. I don't even consider them, I consider them my patrons almost, because they've provided me with so much work, both themselves and then lots of times referring people who want to have a portrait done of somebody. So, but at any rate, so I can see more along the lines of Mark Millar setting himself up so that way he has a means to A, maintain a means to produce comic books, B, if your mainstream's dying and you have so many creators coming over to the crowdfunding scene, he can then scout out new talent. So that way, if he has a book and it's like, okay, I'm doing such and such book, it's going to be 4 issues. You know, there's this guy, Michael Bancroft. He'd be the perfect guy for me to hire to do his next book, to do my next book. And so I'm going to start out by hiring him to do a cover, a pinup for my current book. And if I like it, and if I get a good fan response, that will affect whether I hire him moving forward when I do my next book, which I think he has the perfect style for. You get the thought process, because if the industry's dying, his pool of talent to pull from to work for him is shrinking. As like I said, and last night, many of these talking points were brought up on Jeremy's show. So Jeremy was, he had Aldous on, he had, I think he had Snuggie on. I don't know if Snuggie was on the show or just in the chat, but he had Shelby Robinson on. And Shelby provides a lot of like insight from when he was working in the mainstream. So I look at it as, oops, sorry about that. I do look at it as, if he can help save the American comic book industry, great. Thank you, Mark. We love you. Thank you. You're doing the Lord's work. If he doesn't, though, I can see, like, okay, the industry's falling apart. Hey, I see how Eric July does it. I can do that. I enjoy, and I not just by doing it, I can just get recruit Nerdrotic. He has such a huge fan base that maybe if I can give him a portion of his fan base to back my books or order my books, I can expect my sales to be X amount. So, now, here's the thing. Do you agree or do you disagree with my hypothesis? Please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from every single one of you. Okay? So, please, I would love to hear from you. So, I'm going to keep working on this. May not work on this. I'll probably save the work I'm working on and work on it on Wednesday. Or no, Thursday. Thursday's Thanksgiving, and I'll be here working. Yes, even though I have a girlfriend, I come here on Thanksgiving Day. So yes, this bar will be open on Thanksgiving Day, so I'll be here. So your Thanksgiving Day present for me is I'll be doing a video from the bar here. Okay? So until then, take it easy. Remember, life is stressful, and that's why you should all take it one dot at a time.